Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the last Meaningful Monday for 2017. But just before I begin, I have been requested to record tonight's lesson, so if anyone has a problem with that, just put your cameras off or, turn them slightly in another direction or cover the lens. And if you've got any issue, just let me know. But otherwise, this is going on to my YouTube channel for those people who want to get Meaningful Monday lessons because they couldn't join tonight. So first of all, a very warm welcome to everyone. Some of you are new and some of you are back again with me, so thank you for joining. Just a reminder as to what Meaningful Monday really is all about. The purpose for me doing these first Monday of the month lessons is to create an awareness that we do in fact create our own lives. We are powerful creators, we're not victims in this world, and if you do think that you're a victim and life happens to you, then I'm serving a purpose here, raising that awareness to help you understand that we actually do create our own reality. And without going into too much length on that, if anyone doubts what I'm saying, perhaps watch a movie like The Secret or just Google the law of attraction, and it's a universe. Are you all back? Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. My connection went off and came back on again, so I do apologize. Let me just share the screen. So, sorry, what I was saying was that we are powerful creators and we do create our own reality. Someone is requesting your connection went off. Yes, thank you very much. I'm aware. So I'm back. Okay, so let's kick off. This is a really, really important lesson tonight. I cannot stress enough how important this lesson is in creating the life of your own design if you apply it. It means absolutely nothing if you're not going to apply what's in this lesson. And I don't often do a how-to lesson. Generally, Meaningful Mondays are just a kind of teaching or sharing or raising of awareness on some subject or a specific topic. But tonight is actually what I call a how-to lesson. It means I'm actually going to tell you how to reflect in your life to grow and make your life better and better. And when I say it's so important that you please do apply this, I cannot stress it enough. You will not understand the benefits until you've done it. Trust me on this. It may sound great just listening to it and then doing nothing after this, but I'm really going to ask you, carve out the time, book it in your calendar, and actually do this afterwards properly, fully. And once you've done it, you'll realize how exceptionally valuable reflection is. So, just to kick off, the lesson for tonight is specifically about growth and personal growth. And by that, I mean we become better and better equipped to face life, our challenges, our opportunities, the good stuff and the bad stuff. That's me there with John Maxwell. I'm part of the John Maxwell Global team. And this quote comes from John. He says, reflection turns experience into insight. Many people think that experience is a great teacher in life. Experience is not a great teacher. Evaluated experience is a great teacher. Okay, Carol, just hold the comments while I'm talking, otherwise I get distracted unless you really want me to say something. But you can talk when I ask you questions. Otherwise, I'm just reading while I'm busy talking. But he is amazing. Yeah, John Maxwell is absolutely amazing. And anyone who doesn't know of him, I encourage you to Google him. So when we talk about reflection, this lesson tonight is about reflection, and it's about a simple process on how to reflect. I'm a very simple person. I don't like complicated, but it's a very, very powerful process when applied. Now, just before I get into the lesson, I just wanted to share something on a personal level, only because I think it might have a purpose in your life, perhaps. I had a recent death in the family about 2 weeks ago. My stepmother passed away suddenly from a stroke. And she was part of our family since I was 16 years of age. So I've known her since I'm 16. She was part of our family for almost 30 years. And she only had one child with my dad, which was my younger brother named John Maxwell. And we called him Jamie. My younger brother passed away tragically in 2012. He was only 21. And that was probably the biggest tragedy of my entire life. However, 2 years after Jamie had passed on, Lola, on the very anniversary of his passing, walked out on the family. It's a long story. I won't go into the details there. It was very sad for all of us, but particularly for my father, and he really bore the brunt of that breakup. So none of us heard from her. And they had a divorce settlement that wasn't finalized. So after Jamie passed on, the one thing that really, what it did for me, that brought me to a crossroads in my life, where I questioned what it is that I really want out of my life. And then I realized that I wasn't really fulfilled. I was successful, but I wasn't fulfilled. And that led me on a journey to find my life purpose. And when I found that, which was through the Silva method, which I teach today, I then was challenged with a massive mountain ahead of me to take the step of leaving 20 years of security and to follow my dream. So anyway, I did that. But the point I want to make here is that Jamie inspired me to reflect on my own life and take some steps, and everything turned out like miracles and wonderful sequence of events in my life. And I always wanted to share with Lola, who just passed on, how he had inspired me. And because the divorce settlement wasn't finalized, I never got to do that. And after 1 year of silence, without us talking, I thought I'll wait until everything's ready. Nothing seemed to change. I waited 2 years. I waited 3 years, and I never got to say what I wanted to say. And if you think about reflection turns experience into insight, I think that was a massive lesson for me. And I was very sad, of course, that she passed, but I was heartbroken about not telling her the things I wanted to tell her about how Jamie inspired me, because I know how much that would have meant to her. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys, just as an example before we get into the lesson, that, you know, the people in your life, tell them how you feel before you miss your opportunity. Sometimes the words left unsaid are the ones that we regret the most. So it was me that had to, you know, come to terms with not saying anything, and which I have. And thank you, Nancy, you also helped me by saying it was perhaps not meant to be, and I agree with you. However, for those of you who do have people in your life that have got something that you haven't said, don't wait. Take the opportunity. So this is just an example of experience turning things into insight. They say that smart people learn from experience, but wise people learn from other people's experience. So I'm just sharing my experience on this point before we get into the lesson, hoping that it may make a difference for you. All right. So let's start. So tonight, I'm going to talk about two very simple things and a couple of easy steps for each of them, but very, very powerful. The first one is I'm going to show you a good way to reflect on 2017. And people think it's not that necessary. Some people think, I'm going into a new year, I'm going to focus on my goals, I'm going to focus on the future, I'm going to forget about the past. No, my friends. Without reflecting on prior experience, you leave unmined gold in your life behind you. There is gold in reflection. So much, I cannot describe how valuable it is. Then we're going to talk about, now that we've done the reflection and what we've got out of it, what do we do next? How do we take that we've reflected on and those insights, and how do we apply them to get into our 2018 year? Here's a quote that I really do love. It says, if you can't tell me the lessons you learned this year, you're going to repeat them next year. Now I'm going to repeat this again, maybe even twice, because this is the most important point. If you can't tell me the lessons that you've learned this year, you're going to repeat them next year. And this is how it is in life in general. We have to learn from our lessons, and they don't teach us. Some teach us because they're a massive cosmic slap, but other times there's small little events that happen that we don't reflect on, and so we don't learn from them. They don't teach us anything, and we keep making the same mistakes over and over and over, and we wonder why our lives are frustrating and why we get stuck. So reflection is one of the most important things in your life for personal growth. We can achieve personal growth through courses, through teachers, through books, through programs, DVDs, all kinds of things. If I say to you, the most powerful thing for personal growth is reflection, trust me. John Maxwell says that, and it is true. And the good news is that the best days are ahead of you. I have to put a caveat in that and say the best days are ahead of you if you learn from the ones behind you. Otherwise, as I said, we tend to make the same mistakes over and over again. So I'm going to give you not a complicated process. I'm a simple person. I like simple. I love the saying that says, keep the cookies on the bottom shelf. That's me, so everyone can taste them. I don't want to be highfalutin and complicated. It's just so everyone can understand. So here's a 3-step process. What we're going to do. Hold on, I've got some feedback here. If anyone wants to speak or ask a question, please just go ahead and talk. I'm going to mute your microphones otherwise, so you have got the ability to mute yourselves. Okay, in this 3-step process, what I'm going to ask you to do, please guys, just grab a pen and paper. I'm going to start this process with you, just giving a few minutes to each of these 3 simple steps. We're not going to get all of it done tonight, but as I say, I cannot ask you from the bottom of my heart to finish this process after this call, whether it's tomorrow or in this next week. There's a month before next year, or just under a month. So grab a pen and paper if you haven't got one already, and let's just start. The very first thing I'd like you to do, and I'm going to just give about 2 minutes of silence, is this. Get a piece of paper and just think about 2017. Think of the big things that stand out for you, the major things that have happened that you remember in this year, good things and bad things. So start making notes and just ask yourself, what did I learn? Or what could these things teach me? Lessons learned. So for me, as an example, the incident with Lola taught me, if I got something that I want to say, I need to say it. And it didn't depend on my father's divorce settlement being finalized or not. It depended on me opening my mouth and taking that step. So if you want to say, I love you to someone or sorry to someone, don't wait. So that's an example. So what lessons otherwise have you had in your work, in your personal life, whatever it may be? And I'll just give you about 2 minutes. Have you all got a couple of things down there? Just nod. Okay. All right, so think about this further. You won't get everything out of it tonight, and then step number 2 is going to help you even add on to step number 1. Although, just to add, think about your health. How was your health in 2017, and what lesson could you learn from that? Your relationships, your significant other, your family, your work relationships, your friends, colleagues, boss. Think about all of that in all areas of your relationships. Good things that happened, what could you learn? Bad things that happened, what could you learn? Think about work, the best days that you had, what could you learn from that? And do again the worst days that you had at work, the most frustrating of times, what could you learn from that? Spirituality, what could you learn from this year? Did anything change for you, and how did it change for you? Financially, think about your finances. How did you save money, spend money, waste money? So all the major things that happened, holidays that you went on, did you go on enough of them? Didn't you? Those that you did, what was great about it? What would you do again? What would you? So any lessons that you can out of the major things that happened this year. Just a couple of reminders there. Okay, step number 2 is going through the photos on your phone. And this is quite an interesting exercise. I started doing this over the weekend, and it took me 3 hours. So this will take you a long process, but please do this. It is so valuable. Go through the photos of your phone. There's so many things that we forget. It helps to jog the memory. And really what it's about is helps us gain gratitude. When you go through your photos one by one from January 2017 to now, just have a pen and paper or a journal there, and just everything that you smile at through your photos that you think are great or funny or wonderful or loving, just write what you're grateful for, and you'll be amazed how much comes out. Also, what happens when you go through all your photos is going to jog your memory about major things that happened. And there again, you can go and add to your list of the lessons that you've learned. Okay, the third thing is takes the longest. This is quite an in-depth process. You're going to have to take the hours to do this. Just to make you feel easy, I want you to know that John Maxwell, no kidding, he takes 2 weeks out every year in December, 2 weeks, and he does this process. So all of these steps here, he does it so thoroughly, he actually goes through every single appointment in his calendar. I'm going to ask you to do this. So what you do with the calendar review is you go through every single day and week, just flicking through, do it as quick as you can. What you're trying to pick out is what people did you have in your calendar? What appointments did you have? What were those people? And make a list, of those people. All the places that you went to, whenever you traveled, were out of work, were somewhere, and all the events that you attended, whether they're work events or personal growth events or fun events like going to the theater, whatever events they were, going to a family 21st birthday, all the events, put everything down, weddings, funerals, whatever it may be. Then what you do is you color code these things in red, yellow, and green. Now, this is the single most important thing to do for your time management for next year. This exercise determines how you manage your time next year. And this is all about being intentional. We want to live intentionally. So when I talk about the color coding, red, if there's an event, or let's talk about a person, if there's a person and we mark them red, it's because nothing good happens around these people. Now, trust me, we all have people like this in our lives, every single one of us. No one is free of having people in their lives where nothing around them happens that's good, inspiring, fun, or helpful. Now, we're not saying that these are bad people. They're humans, and we love and respect them as people, but you may feel drained around them. They may be more negative than positive. This negativity doesn't help you in any way. It just sucks the life out of you. What's important about marking people who are red? is that statistic is true. 95% of your success is determined by those that you spend time with. 95% of your success is determined by the people that you spend time with. So you mark those that are red, and as I said, we're not saying that you're not going to ever spend time with them. Of course not. Some people may be in your family, or they may be your colleagues at work or your boss. We're not saying we're not going to spend time with them, but what we are going to say is we're going to be intentional about adding time with them. We're not going to intentionally calendar time in with them. We're going to value them as human beings. We're going to value them as people, but we're not going to make priorities for reds. Okay? The same goes with events. What events didn't work for you? What networking functions did you go to that were just a waste of time? Or how many networking groups do you attend perhaps that don't give you what you want out of them, whatever that support or leads or whatever it may be? Mark those as reds. And events that you paid for, not paid for, whatever they were. Then the next one is yellow. With yellow, nothing good or nothing bad happens. They're just middle of the ground. You just mark those. Then the green ones. The green ones are people, events, and places that make you feel uplifted, make you feel encouraged. If they're people, you talk about ideas with them. You know, they say the highest form of conversation is talking about ideas. The lowest level of conversation is talking about people. So do you share ideas with them? Stretch your mind, stretch your thoughts, stretch your feelings. Do you feel energized around them? And if it's a green event, what was it? Was it a good event? I mean, you know, you got out the house, you went to some function somewhere, or you went to training, whatever it was, mark these in these three colors. So for myself, for example, I attend the John Maxwell team every year. I think next year, I haven't decided if I'm going in August. I've got some bit of a thing to still work out there. But generally, I go every single year, and I can say that's green for me. I knew it was good. I know I want to go back. I know I want to do it again. There's no doubt in my mind. If I got the chance, I'm there. So that's what you call a green event. Other events fell off. I don't want to repeat them again. Why? Because they're red or they're yellow. They added no value to me. They probably wasted a lot of my time. And I often try a lot of things. That's just the kind of person that I am. And then I find that I'm trying things and they're just wasting time. I could be working on stuff that's far more rewarding, makes me happier, and gives me some better return on my time spent. So add things as well with these people, places, and events that are a bit left of center. Things like spending time in nature, spending time at the beach, swimming in the sea, if that's what you like, going to the mountains. If you attend Toastmasters, is that still working for you or isn't it? Is there something else that you could be doing? Then what we want to ask ourselves is, how can I get more green events, people, and places? If you ask yourself that question going into 2018, how can I get more green people, places, and events? What you'll find is that over time, you're going to have more and more of your precious time spent with green. And then what happens is your weeks become phenomenal. Your life becomes a wonderful experience. You're going to just be far more fulfilled, far more encouraged, motivated, uplifted, and happier. Okay, and you're going to spend less time with reds and yellows. As I say, we're not saying we're not going to see these people or they're bad people. No, we do understand them. What we want to think about maybe is how we can add value to the reds. How can we help the reds? Maybe we can, I don't know, buy them a book that may help them or add value to them in some way that we can assist them, but we're not looking to go out and spend a lot of our time with them. So it's all about being intentional. Okay, so what we're doing here with the lessons that we've learned, things that we're grateful for, reviewing our calendar, we're really trying to extract the gold out of the year that's passed behind us, because we forget. Time goes by and life is quick, and we often don't remember everything that's happened. When you stop, pause, reflect, and pull out the gold, you then create a good base for planning the year that you're going into. Okay, so just want to give you an analogy about this reflection. Some of you might think, oh, this is nice, Jeanine, but I'm probably not going to do it because I haven't got the time. Let me just tell you something that might help to click this point in your mind and make it something that you really do see as important. I used to work for Nielsen. There's 3 people on the call, maybe even more, that worked there. And it's a data company. They sell friggin' insights to clients. They take data, they find the insights, and they sell it for big money. Every industry, everywhere in the world is spending millions and millions of dollars on past data that they mine to get insights to plan for the future. Why won't you do that with your own life? Companies pay millions for this information. They take past history, mine it, find the insights, and use it to plan strategically for the future. Why won't you take the time to do it in your own life? So my suggestion is, hopefully now that you're on this call, you will do this. If you've never done it before, please, I beg you, do this. You will love it. When you finish, you won't love doing it maybe, but you'll love it at the end. You will feel amazing because things will crop up for you that you don't know right now. Only doing it will give you that kind of value. So I encourage you to do that. The good news is, my friends, that the best days are ahead of you. They really are. And to get a belief in this quote is helpful in your life. So if you never thought that before, adopt this belief. It'll pay off for you. The best days are ahead of you, not behind you. John Maxwell's 71, and he says the best days, he's more excited about his future than his past. And he's like a successful international author, written 78 or whatever books it is. And he says the best days are ahead of him because he's growing and he's learning and he doesn't stop. However, for the best days to be ahead of you, you do need to take the time to reflect so that we can take the good out of the past and bring it into our future and add more of that and leave the bad behind. As I said, if we don't learn from our mistakes or we don't learn our lessons, we're going to repeat them. Today is the 4th of December. There is still time. This is not the end of the year. There's a couple of weeks left. Don't sit idle doing nothing. Start now. If you've got an idea in your head, don't wait, my friends. Go after it. You've got days left. It's a couple of weeks left. If you've a course you want to do, start that course. Your book you want to read, pick that book up, start to read it. Launch that product if it's in your mind. If there's a job that you're thinking about, you want to change, apply for it. Don't wait. Don't think, oh, it's December, I'm going to chill out at Christmas. There's still time. Start now. Whatever it is, implement the idea. Don't waste any time. Every step you take encourages you, gives you more confidence, it builds up your self-esteem, and it makes you more optimistic and positive about the future. Okay, so now what? We've reflected. Once you've done that reflection process, actually, while you're sitting there, I know that I never stop to give you time to go through your phone, but if you do that, it's amazing. And this is something that perhaps, or I haven't given you time now, that I really would like you to do, and take the time to do it, even if you don't do it in the same time and sequence that you do the whole reflection process. All right, so once you've done this reflection, what are we going to do now? What are the next steps to take to get into action? So, some people are so good with reflection, especially when they get into their photos of their phones, they're loving that. So they go and they spend hours doing that, and they go through and they reflect. Then you reflect, and 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 you reflect. But you don't do anything. Many people get into reflection, and they get so into reflection that they don't actually take any action off the back of it. Let me just say this because it's very important. Being busy is not being productive. In the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, there's a law on priorities, and John Maxwell says, activity is not necessarily accomplishment. Activity is not necessarily accomplishment. Busy is not productive. So when it comes to reflection, do the reflection with your number one intention to take action, not to reflect for the sake of reflection. Because you're going to reflect and you're going to learn something now. Oh, I reflect, I look at all my photos, and I've got this long gratitude list, and I've, learned something, and I've learned from my lessons, and I've learned something now. No. We want to reflect, to learn something, to take action. There's something called serial reflectors. These people who get into reflection, they don't do anything. With serial reflectors, a couple of things happen. We begin to compare. We begin to compare ourselves to other people. Don't do that. That's reflecting on the wrong stuff. You don't compare yourself to anyone in this world. The only person you compare yourself is to who you were yesterday. If you compare yourself to other people, whether they're better than you or worse than you, it's not going to serve you. I took this quite wordy thing, so forgive me for all these words, but I'll read it to you. This comes out of the 15 Irrefutable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. It's called the comparison gap. It says, when we compare ourselves to other people, we will find plenty of reasons not to undertake growth. Often we end up comparing apples to oranges in these peer comparisons, and we use the faulty conclusions we draw to undermine our own growth process. Each of us is a unique creation with different abilities, different strengths, different talents. This is important. We may often find an area where we need to grow that is comparable to climbing Mount Everest for us. But that may be an area that someone else has no trouble in. No trouble at all. There's not a problem area for someone else, but for us, it's a Mount Everest. So to start drawing comparisons between ourselves and that other person will inevitably throw up a strong deterrent to us taking the first step towards growth that we need to take. This is quite important. Never compare yourself to anyone. There are always in life going to be people ahead of you and people behind you. Only compare yourself to who you were yesterday. When we compare ourselves to other people, two things happen that are very unhelpful in our lives. The first one is to get proud and complacent. So as an example, we might compare ourselves to someone whose life is a bit of a mess. So let's just call him Joe. I can sit here, I start comparing, I think about Joe, I think, yeah, his life's still a mess. His marriage is still on the rocks. His job is still crappy. The guy's still unhappy. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't lost any kilos. He's overweight. He's all comparing myself. All that's doing is making me proud, which is probably one of the worst character traits, because proud people don't learn. Humble people learn. Proud people don't learn. So it makes us proud and it makes us complacent. So we think, oh, his life is such a mess. I'm pretty okay. And then we don't grow, and then we don't learn. So that's the first one. The second one is we become indecisive. If you think about someone who's ahead of you now, the opposite, you think, geez, let's just call the person Jane. Jane is so far ahead of me. I'll never be like her. I'll never be like him if it's a guy. So what happens is we start adjusting our own goals. We start thinking, I could never be like that. I'd really like to do that, but I don't have those qualifications. I don't have that experience. I don't have those talents. And we start debating our own dreams. We start debating and compromising on our own goals. We start bringing the number down, if it's a financial goal or whatever it may be. We start adjusting. We start making our goals realistic. No. Never ever do that. Never compare yourself to someone who's ahead of you and start adjusting your own goals and dreams. Never, ever, ever. I've got this quote here which says, just to add to this discussion, if you find yourself criticizing other people, you're probably doing it out of resistance. When we see others beginning to live their authentic selves, it drives us crazy if we have not lived out our own. So rather let people who are ahead of you teach you something. Have a humble heart and a beginner's mindset and ask yourself, how can you learn? But don't compare yourself and lose confidence and doubt yourself by comparing yourself to them. The only person you compare yourself to is who you were, 6 months ago. Are you better today than you were 6 months ago in your home, in your work, in your spirituality, in your fitness? That's who you compare it to. Compare yourself to yourself 90 days ago. How do you compare to yourself 90 days ago? The only person you compare yourself to is yourself. And when you think about people way ahead of you, like let's say for me, I'm in the John Maxwell team. I look at a person like John Maxwell or these people on the John Maxwell faculty. The truth is the world doesn't need another John Maxwell. The world doesn't need another Tony Robbins. The world doesn't need another whoever it may be. The world needs another you. Not another you, it needs you. Not another you, just you. You, the best you that you can be. So be the best you. Improve yourself from what you were yesterday. It doesn't matter about other people. Become the best you. Because the world needs you. You have got some talents and some gifts and you can express them in a way that no one else can express them. And that's your gift here. That's why you are here. That's why you are on this planet. When we begin to compare ourselves to others, failure begins to show up in the goal-setting process. How? We become self-judgmental. I don't know if I can do that. Oh, that's too big for me. Oh, that's going too fast for me. Or I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. Or I'm not capable. I'm not ready. Or I can never be that good. Then what happens is we begin to become isolated. So think about this. When you compare yourself to people better than you and you start doubting and questioning yourselves, we become isolated. We withdraw. That's the danger. Because we isolate ourselves because we want to make sure that we're going to be ready. You know, we want to make sure that we're going to be perfect. We want to make sure before that job interview that, you know, you've got everything in order and you keep thinking, keep planning. You don't do anything. You keep pulling back or whatever the thing is that you want. This is where failure shows up. And this is where we become indecisive in our lives. Indecision is often a result of comparing ourselves to other people and starting to bring up all these naysayers, you know, in our head. I can't do that. I'm not good enough. I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe I should do this differently. Maybe this, maybe that. And then we don't move forward. One of the most interesting things to do is to sit with an hourglass, like an egg timer, even if it's 1 minute or whatever, and put it in front of you and sit and look at that hourglass and think that that's your life. And every day that goes by or every hour that goes by is like another grain dropped to the bottom and it's gone. We don't get it back. So stop wasting time. Wherever your dreams and goals are, don't waste time. Take action, reflect, learn, get lessons out of your past, compare yourself to yourself and no one else. But don't become indecisive with self-doubt because indecision just wastes time. This is precious time. Okay, here are a couple of points I just want to add before I get into the how-to of going forward. Whoops. Think about yourself where you are right now, any area of your life. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Because that we all can change. The only thing that we can change are our thoughts about something, our perspective on something, our viewpoint. That's your point of power. Your viewpoint is your point of power. I've put this in other lessons on Meaningful Mondays before. Change your attitude about it. When we think we can change other people or change circumstances and events, you are kidding yourself and probably setting yourself up for disappointment. So that's the one thing. The second thing is, don't let the fear of what could happen make nothing happen. Don't second guess. Don't doubt. Have faith. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in a higher power, if that's your belief system. If it's not, have faith in yourself. But have faith. Don't let fear of what this could go wrong, that could go wrong, it wouldn't work, I wouldn't be good enough, will I pass, will I fail, will I get the job, won't I get the job, whatever it may be. Take the step. That's how we learn. You have more chances of success by taking steps than planning. Planning is 0 steps. There's nothing going on then. And this last thought, happiness is working with great people. Someone on the call earlier who joined said that they're going to plan leaving their workplace. Good on you. If there's not a place that makes you happy, move on. Life is short. Enjoy the friggin' ride. If life ain't serving you, get the courage. Do something. Change something. It says if you don't like it, change it. We are not victims in this world. We are powerful creators. Happiness is working with great people. If you're not working with great people, either try and make the environment great, be the leader there, change the culture. And sometimes it's not always possible. I've worked in environments like that where you can't change everything. Then change your environment. You're in charge of that. That you can do. But when you start working with great people, happiness is. You're going to love your life. You're going to love every day. You know how many hours we spend working? For heaven's sake, I think we spend more time at work than we do with our families. So make sure that life and your work is a happy place for you. Okay, now I'm going to talk about, ideas. When we go through this reflection process, and hopefully this is what it is for you, when you go through that, reflecting on what lessons could I've learned, looking at your photos, ideas are going to pop in your head, going through your calendar, things that you did, that you didn't do, ideas are going to pop in your head. I'm here to talk about what an idea is. An idea is a spiritual seed. Ideas don't come from nowhere. Everything comes from one universal infinite source. And an idea is a spiritual seed. Do not neglect it. So this quote here comes out of a book called Do the Work by Stephen Pressfield. I haven't read the book, but I've heard about the book and I've been recommended to read it. But this quote says, our job is not to control our idea. Our job is to figure out what our idea is and what it wants to be, and then to bring it into being. I'm here to tell you about these ideas. When it comes to your dreams and your goals, you need to be very, very, very unrealistic. The more realistic you are, the more your life's going to stay the same. Dreams don't come from realistic ideas. Dreams come from crazy ideas. That idea that sounds crazy, that idea that sounds a little bit too much, these are the ideas we need to go after, my friends. Sometimes an idea is so outrageous that we think to ourselves, there's no way this could happen. There's no way I can bring this into being. This is when our idea is trying to bring itself into our life. What often happens is we block it with our discouragement because it feels like it's too much. It feels like we're asking too much, that we're wanting too much. You're not asking too much. You're not wanting too much. An idea is trying to come through you. We need to work out how to bring that into being. Don't diminish your ideas. Don't diminish your goals. Don't shrink your dreams. They're there for a reason. Let me just tell you, there's something that someone told me once. I believe in God, so if you don't, you can ignore this. God will never give you an idea if you don't have the potential to fulfill it. And I think that's such a beautiful concept. You will never get an idea because every idea is a spiritual seed. You may think to yourself, this is coming out of your own brain. Where's your brain from? Who runs your brain? Who wires your brain? Who shines the stars? Who shines the sun? Everything comes from one universal source. An idea is a spiritual seed. You will never be given an idea, my friends, if you haven't got the potential to fulfill it. Don't doubt yourselves. When your ideas seem crazy and they seem too big, those are the right ideas for you. And let me just tell you something. Every single thing, look around you where you're sitting. I'm going to just show you a few things. Here's a mouse. Here's a phone. Here's some product, whatever it is. Every single idea was created twice. It was first an idea, and then it was something. Thoughts become things. Everything was an idea. Flight, airplanes, they weigh 300 tons. How do they get lifted up into the air? Weightless. These are crazy ideas. So for you in your life, love your crazy ideas. Don't diminish your dreams. Your goals should never be realistic. They should be rewarding. That acronym of SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable. R is not for realistic. R is for rewarding. They need to turn you on. That's when you know that you got the right dream. Right. Moving on. Okay. So we've reflected. Hopefully, when you do this exercise after this call, you're going to reflect. Take the time. Take 2, 3, 4 hours. Take half a Saturday. Do this. Once you've reflected, how do we move forward? Here are 4 R's. The first R is return. It means plugging back in. Plugging back in. The first thing you need to do to move forward is plug back into anything that you've slipped. If it's to do with your health, go back to gym. If it's to do with weight, plug back into eating right. If it's building your business, plug back into whatever it is that you need to do, prioritizing your marketing of your business, connecting with people, phoning, clients, leads, I don't know, whatever it may be. If it's about managing your Facebook page or attending a live event that inspires you and keeps you energized, motivated, and focused to move forward, plug back in, go back to those events. If it's about being a better father, plug back into the family. If you want a better relationship, plug back into your marriage like never before. Make the commitment to do the work. Return and plug back in. Make that commitment to plug yourself back in to move forward. The second one is release. Hopefully you would have done all the reds in your calendar, the people, the events, and the places. Release those events. Don't make them a priority. But don't just release them. Get out of your comfort zone and change those to ones that would be green for you. Go and try new things that do work for you. Join a new networking group. Get new contacts to help your business or your personal life. Find something that will give you better health if that's what you want, or better relationships. There's so many meetup groups. They're on every subject under the sun. Whatever problem you have, there's got to be one. There's free webinars, there's calls, there's YouTube videos. Do whatever you need to do. Replace all the reds that you release from your calendar. When you release reds, put something in there that's going to bring you forward. Then remember about the reds, release those people that are dragging you down, saying, anyone that's a naysayer in your life, remember I said to you, your dreams need to be rewarding. You're going to find when you've got big dreams, and I'm telling you now, often it's the people who love you the most. The people that love you the most sometimes are the ones that believe in you the least. I know this sounds awful. I'm talking from my own experience. When I wanted to step out of 20 years of corporate and follow my dream, my mother, she loves me more than anything in the world. She said to me, are you sure? Are you sure? You know, don't you need to, they've just promoted you. Don't you want to stay there and, you know, carry on with this promotion? They'll pay you a better bonus. Surely they pay. These are the people who love you the most. So when you hear people say things to you like, you shouldn't lose that much weight, if that's what you want to do, do it. Or you shouldn't go after that goal. You shouldn't go for that new job. Release. They read. Don't listen to people who are naysayers, or maybe don't talk so much about what your goals and dreams are. You know, in the book Think and Grow Rich, it says when you've got your big idea, your big goal, and you go through all the 6 steps in that book, it says you keep your mouth shut, you tell no one. Because people want to steal other people's dreams or crush them. Okay, so release the reds. The next thing you need to do is rethink. Rethink from the lessons that you learned from doing a reflection process. So when you're looking at the lessons that you learned, my question to you is, what are you thinking? We're often so busy, but as I said, we're not productive. Sometimes we're so busy. Think about yourselves at your work, or what you do every day. We're so busy. Are we productive? When we're busy, there need to be productive activities or rewarding activities. So even if it's going to the beach, that is good for you. So that is rewarding. So that I would say, yes, rethink that and do it again. Carve out the time. If going swimming in the seas, that rejuvenates you, rejuvenates your body and your spirit, Go do that. It's got to be productive, it's got to be rewarding, or it's got to be income generating. Especially if you're working in your own business, or even if you're working for an employer. Are we doing things that are generating income for the company? What are we doing that's wasting time? How can we change things? Rethink. Okay, so that's the third one. The fourth one is restart. This is about taking action. If we don't act, nothing moves. It's go time. Now is go time. We've got to take action. Do this reflection, please, as quickly as possible. If you can do it in the next 48 hours, you're a winner. Do you know what's going to happen if you don't do it in the next 48 hours? You're probably not going to do it. There's something called the law of diminished intent, or the law of diminishing intent. The longer you wait after an event to do something, the less and less likely it is that you're going to do it because your intention wanes. So restart means taking action, doing something now. It's do time, guys. It's go time. Nothing happens if you plan. Do. When you do, you learn. Then you do more. Then you learn. Some people are so proud of this big 2-month plan that they wrote out. But then what happens? Nothing. They have this big plan. It's more important to do. Professional planners don't take action. So plan, do, get results, whatever it is. Make that phone call. Get your CV out if that's what you want. Get a result. Do something. Just make the first phone call. Once you've done that, you can ask better questions. Then take the next step. That's how you keep going. So whatever it is that you want as a next step, is it a meeting? Is it a job interview? Is it a new client? Is it a new sale? Is it a new appointment? Do something. Make a list of people. Call them. Set a date. Whatever. Invite them to a meeting. Go. It's action time. So take that step. Then when you think about the areas in 2018 that we need to look at in our life, I've just listed some. This is what you definitely need to look at, and anything more than that is great. Your work. Assess your work. How is it playing in your life? What do you want to change? What do you want to keep? Remember I said, happiness is working with great people. The second thing, personal growth. Please write this down. What is my personal growth plan? What is my personal growth plan? If you don't have one, or you don't know how to create one, I'll do it for free. Catch up with me for an hour. I'll do it for free. I'll help you. Everybody needs a personal growth plan. If you're not growing, trust me, you're going backwards because the world is evolving. Nothing stays the same. So personal growth, get yourself a growth plan. Relationships, look at your relationships. Relationships are the lifeblood of your existence. Make them work. The next one is how you engage with the world. Where are you serving? How are you giving back? Where are you going to network? Where are you interacting? Think about that. Whatever you kind of career you're in, what's in your pipeline? It doesn't have to be that you're only in sales. You could be pipeline in whatever job you're in. What's in your pipeline? Is it good? Is it making you better? Is it taking you a step up? Are you going to be recognized for creating a better status quo than what it is right now because of you being in that position? That's your pipeline. What have you got queued up there? Marketing and promotion. Yes, it applies to people working for themselves. But hey, it applies to you as a brand, whether you're working for a company or working for yourself. Even if you're working for a company, how are you marketing yourself internally? Promoting yourself? What are you doing to create that brand? Because the only way you get ahead in a corporation is the view that people have of you. And that's, you create that. And then what do I need to work on? So once we go through these areas, if you want to list them down, you can. This becomes what you're going to plan for your action plan for the first quarter. Just plan for 90 days. If things crop up that you want to do and they're not priorities, you do those for the next 90 days for your second quarter. Okay. It all starts with doing something daily. John Maxwell says, you'll never change your life. Never. Until you change something you do daily. Daily. The secret of your success or happiness is found in your daily routine. Okay, guys, so let's sum up and then we can do a little meditation. please, as soon as you possibly can, do that reflection process. The lessons that you learned from the big major events that you remember, go through every photo for the year, get a gratitude going out of the photos. They will trigger more events and what you could learn from them. What are the lessons? Do that calendar. It takes hours. Trust me, it's worth it. It also gives you an idea on how much you've done in the year, how much you've achieved, or how much you've not achieved and missed. Don't compare yourself to others ever. Only compare yourself to yourself. We don't want to become indecisive, and we don't want to become proud and complacent. And then the 4 R's, plug back in, return to what you need to do to get yourself back on track, release the reds in your life, replace them with greens, rethink when you've learned your lessons, and restart. Take action. Do not pedal, like under the water. Just take a step forward. Don't just, mark time where you're standing. And then remember the areas to look at in your life, and then do something daily if you want to change things for the better. So this is really, if you do this, my friends, I promise you, you'll be so happy with yourselves. You will love yourselves for it. Hopefully it will make a difference. This is really so important in creating the life of your own design. Be intentional. Reflection is the most powerful, motivating and moving, stepping forward into growth, bar none. Events, courses are great, but reflection is the most powerful because you're working off your own previous results. Okay, now it's time for questions. Anyone have any questions? I'll unmute all your lines. Questions? No, yes, maybe you can unmute. If your line's muted, you can unmute your own. Are there any questions from anyone? Whoops. Yes, no, maybe? None? Okay. Well, I'm going to get the music ready for the meditation. And please, for yourselves for the meditation, as usual, if you haven't already got one from this lesson, get a pen and paper for yourself, because I'm going to ask you some questions in a very deep, relaxed state of mind called the alpha state, where your subconscious is hopefully quietened down and not so noisy. And when we ask questions in our alpha state, we really tap into our higher selves and get some fantastic answers, which are truths that can guide us in our life. So we're going to experience that with the meditation. And then just get yourself into a comfortable position. I'm going to put my camera off so you won't see me, I won't see you, so don't worry about that. And the most important thing for anyone who's new on this call tonight is the purpose in the meditation is to relax. Just relax as much as you can. Just let go, trust the process. And when you get answers at the end, when I ask you 3 questions at the end, I'll tell you what they are ahead of time so you know. It says, what do I need to focus on for the month of December? The next question is, what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to do, be, or have? What steps do I need to take, in other words? And then what do I need to let go of? When I ask you those questions in the meditation, don't think them now. Don't, pre-think anything. As I ask them and you're in that relaxed state, whatever pops up, first impressions, you write those down. Don't judge them. Don't question them. Just write them down. Whatever comes, just write it down. I'll give you some time there for you to get those out. Okay, so this is about connecting with your inner wisdom or your true self, what people call your higher self. And the reason that I do this in Meaningful Mondays is to help people get to know that you can ask questions and get answers. And if you get answers in this kind of state of mind, you can trust them. So they are from a trusted place and a trusted source. Okay, so I'm playing some music. Please just tell me if it's too loud compared to my voice or not. Just send me a message quickly. Otherwise, just get yourself comfortable. Take a couple of deep breaths and relax, and I'll start in a few seconds. And just a reminder, when I say take a deep breath, Make sure that you breathe into your belly, not into your upper chest, but deep into your belly. Every corner of your belly, stretch it out. That's what we term a deep breath. It helps to dissolve stress chemicals, and it's very healthy to help you relax. So as you get comfortable now, just close your eyes. Take a nice deep belly breath and exhale. Let it all out. And as you take another deep breath and exhale, allow all the tensions in your body just to release and float away. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, begin to feel your body relaxing. Just feel the tension leaving your scalp. Feel the tension leaving your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your tongue and jaw. Relax your neck. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax your shoulders, arms, and hands. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, feel the tension leaving your back. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, feel your chest relax. Relax your stomach. Relax your pelvic area. Take another deep breath and allow the tension to leave your hips. Relax your thighs. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Relax your feet all the way down to your toes. You are now experiencing a deep state of relaxation. Continue breathing deeply, slowly, and rhythmically. It is a wonderful feeling to be deeply relaxed, a very healthy state of being. You are now going to create in your mind an ideal place of relaxation. It can be real or imagined, somewhere you've been or somewhere that you'd like to go, but allow it to be a place where you feel totally relaxed. Begin to experience this place right now. Take your time. Now that you've created your ideal place of relaxation, you're going to add a waterfall of white light into the scene. Place it wherever you choose. The waterfall of white light is gentle, allowing you to stand under the cascading, beautiful, healing white light. The light is healing energy, a clearing energy. Your waterfall of white light is now created. Walk over to the waterfall and stand under the white healing light. Allow this white light to swirl around you, encompassing you within its glow. It is clearing the stress, the tension, and the clutter of the day. This white light is also clearing the stress, tension, and clutter of the week, of the month, of the whole year of 2017. Feel this white light clearing the stress, tension, and clutter of the lifetime from your energy field or from your atmosphere. Or from your aura. As the light clears your energy field, just notice how much happier you look. Notice the smile on your face. See how the weights that you've been carrying are no longer a burden. Notice how your energy field is expanding out as you are radiating love. This waterfall of light is always available to you whenever you need it. All you need to do is close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine your ideal place of relaxation and immerse yourself in this healing white light. Now, take a deep breath, relax deeper, and repeat these beneficial statements to yourself mentally. Every day, in every way, I am getting better, better, and better. Positive thoughts, suggestions, and images bring me benefits and advantages I desire. I will always maintain a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. The following statements are for your better health. Keep in mind that from now on, I will occasionally be speaking in your place. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every tissue, cell, organ, and system of my body is revitalized, restored, and renewed, resulting in a perfectly healthy body, mind, and immune system. I'm able to function in harmony physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to promote maximum benefits. My awareness in using my mind allows me to do activities that promote increased health physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, imagine the white light turns to green. You are now immersed in a glowing green light. This green light is pure, unconditional love. It surrounds you. It encompasses you. It flows through your entire being. It fills you with love. All those hurts you felt, all those pains you felt, the angry moments, allow this green light, this unconditional love to heal those spaces now. You are an amazing human being. You deserve love. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. And you deserve peace. It is now time to step out of the waterfall. Step out of this waterfall of light. Your energy field is now clean and clear. You are centered and you are energized. You are able to think more clearly, to focus more easily. You are in the flow of universal love and energy. Just take a moment now to bask in this feeling of connectedness. You have now reset your body and mind for the month ahead of you, the month of December. It is now time to set your intention for the month of December. Tune into your higher wisdom. Tune into your higher self. I'm going to do a 10 to 1 countdown. That's going to allow you to tune in to your higher self and your inner wisdom. That part of you that, if you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now tuned into your higher self, where all your inner wisdom lies. The part of you that, when you tuned in, guides you and intuitively knows what is best for you. Feel the alignment with your higher self. Feel the connection, and now ask yourself the following questions. What do I need to focus on for the month of December? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. Then take a deep breath, close your eyes, and re-enter your calm state. What do I need to focus on for the month of December? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. Then take a deep breath, close your eyes, and re-enter your meditative state. The next question is, what steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? What steps do I need to take me closer to what I want to be, do, or have? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. What steps do I need to take? Then take a deep breath, close your eyes, and re-enter your calm state. The last question we're going to ask is, what do I need to let go of? Whatever comes to mind, write it down. Don't judge it, just write it down. Then take a deep breath and continue the meditation. What do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of? Whatever comes to mind, write it down, and then just take a deep breath and relax. Okay, now allow a deep breath, and as you exhale, relax. Slowly bring your attention back to your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, just count yourself out from 1 to 3. At the count of 3, open your eyes and have a big stretch. Blessings to you, my friends. Then when you're ready, you can come back and plug back in. How was that for you guys? I want to hear from you.
It was great.
Who said that?
Anne-Marie.
Hello, my dear.
Hello, my darling.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Much better now after my meditation.
Excellent, excellent. Did you get anything that you want to share, or even if you don't want to share, just did you get anything that's helpful?
Yeah, thinking about the steps to what I need to do next.
Did something pop for you there?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And my let go was the same as we had before.
Oh, right. Okay. Let me just add something about that. In the Silva Method live training, when I went to Chicago the first time I did it, we did a similar kind of thing. Not exactly this, but it was quite similar. And it had, what do you need to let go of? And I wrote something down there. Anyway, I forgot about it until I did the Silva Method live training in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And when we did it, I flew back home and I thought, I wonder what I wrote for the answers. And I had exactly the same answer 1 year apart. Exactly. And I had done nothing to address it. And I'm telling you this because you've had the same thing come twice.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything for another year. And I only addressed it this year. And it's made a massive difference for me. So when something crops up once, it's truth. But when it crops up twice, it's like, move on it. Do something tomorrow that takes your first step, whatever that is for you. Just do something.
I will.
Don't wait. Thanks for sharing. Someone raised their hand. Carol, go for it. You can't hear me? Oh, it's okay. All right, cool. Anyone else want to share? No? Okay. Going, gone. Otherwise, I'm going to move on. No? Yes? No. Okay. Well, at least was it helpful for anyone? Was it helpful for anyone? I'm not getting no answers here. Carol, how was it for you? This is your first time. Was it helpful? Hold on, you're on mute. You need to unmute your line, Carol. There we go. I can hear you now. Was it helpful for you?
The meditation?
The questions.
Oh, fantastic. It was brilliant.
Okay, I'm glad. You got some help there. Nancy, how were you?
Yeah, all good.
Did you get some answers?
Yes, I did.
Good. Helpful?
Yes.
Okay. Anthony, hello. He's quiet. He's on mute. Are you there, Anthony?
I am.
How are you?
Well, thank you.
Good. Did you get some answers?
I think I did.
Was it helpful?
Certainly was. I'd like to do it again. Every night, maybe.
You'd like to do it again every night. What, the meditation?
Yes.
Well, you can. It's recorded, so it'll be up if you want to do it again. However, the answers that you got tonight, you need to act on, because they're going to probably be the same if you did them every night. Okay, who've I missed out? No one? Anyone? Okay, let me just move on here. So the next Meaningful Monday happens, the next first Monday of the month happens to fall on the 1st of January. I'm very uncertain that anyone's going to join Meaningful Monday on New Year. So I will also not be here. I'll be out of signal, out of touch, and out of Australia. So I won't be around. I'm more than willing or happy to do a recorded lesson. However, let's be truthful with ourselves. Are you guys wanting to do one on the first Monday of January? And if the answer is no, then chill out and reflect on your notes rather, and spend more time in the reflection that you did in the lesson tonight, or maybe review this lesson because it's the first of 2018. And your planning is really all about this lesson. So please do the reflection from the bottom of my heart. Give me your commitment. I don't know what to ask you. Raise your hand, do something, but tell me and tell yourself you're going to do it. Do this reflection exercise. It's worth it. And then maybe on the 1st of January, this audio is going to be up on my YouTube channel. Review it. It'll be helpful. Maybe not on the Monday, the 1st, maybe on the 2nd, because you might be a little bit tired or something. Okay, the next Meaningful Monday is on the 5th of February. So please join me for that. The topic is yet to be determined. It'll have to come to me. It normally pops in my head like a gift from above, and I don't have it quite yet, but I'll publish it as soon as I know. For the people who have done the Silva method, thank you, and you want to repeat, you're welcome to. Those who haven't done it and don't know what it's about, join Wednesday, not tomorrow, the next day. I'm doing a free webinar that talks about the Silva method, and it's got some valuable tips to help in your life. It's called the 4 Key Skills to Take Charge of Your Life. It will give you insight as to what the Silva method training is. And for those who want the dates, the next training is coming up in February over 2 weekends, 11th and 12th and 24th, 25th. So if you're interested in that, there's an early bird price on. If you are interested, please book now, because I won't be here in most of January, and the early bird special ends about a week after I get back, or even before that, sorry. For those of you who want to know what the 4 key skills to take charge of your life are, the webinar on Wednesday, it's really about these 4 key skills and a bit of depth and tips on how to apply. The first one is how to stay calm and focused even under pressure, the most important skill of your life. The second one, having clear and meaningful goals and how you can achieve them quicker. The third one is how can we overcome self-limiting beliefs and become aware of what those are. And lastly, how do we make smarter decisions and recognize the right opportunities for us? And that's by tapping into our creativity and our intuition. So that's 7:30 on Wednesday. If you want to share this with anyone, please share it with anyone. Everyone's welcome. There might be some people in your life that you know that need this more than you do. Encourage them to jump on the call. Spread the love, spread the knowledge, help each other, make this world a better place one by one. So get more people involved. Costs nothing, it's free, and it's valuable. And then, my friends, just to end off, this is the last time I'm going to talk to you in a webinar unless you join me on Wednesday, just to say to my family and friends that I'm very honored to have in my life, and you sitting here listening to this. May the season warm your soul, bring lots and lots of love to your heart, and bless you with everything wonderful that this life has to offer for you. And I wish for you that 2018 will be your best year yet. And sometimes people think, oh, the best years are behind me. Trust me, if you're intentional and you're patient with yourself and you take the time out to do what this lesson is talking about tonight, this is how you create your best life, by being intentional. So let 2000, may it be, bet yourself, test yourself, dare yourself. Let 2018 be your best year yet. It's possible for you. So that's all, my friends. I'm going to stop the recording at this point, and then we can say goodnight to each other.